Well, hello, and welcome back to the verse of the day. My name is Pastor David Prenga. I'm with Brewster Baptist Church, and we are looking at the theme this week of the Temple of God. See, the Temple of God is just a metaphor that is found both in the Old Testament and the New Testament. And the Temple of God is a place where God could dwell with his people. It was a place where his presence was, and where humanity could be with God. And yesterday I shared about God's ultimate purpose was to be in right relationship with us. See, God created Adam and Eve. He created both of them in his image. And we see that God dwelled with his creation in the Garden of Eden. But unfortunately, Adam and Eve, they sinned, and they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. And as we move forward through the Bible, we move into Exodus. And Moses is now talking with God at Mount Sinai. And God gives him instructions to build something called the Tabernacle. It was going to be a place where God would live and he would dwell with his people. And we pick this up in Exodus 25, verses 8 and 9. As I read it to you, it says, "Then have them make a sanctuary for me, and I will dwell among them. Make this tabernacle and all its furnishings exactly like the pattern that I will show you." See, this tabernacle was a very large, movable tent. It was a place where God would dwell with his people as they journey from Mount Sinai to the Promised Land. Now, the tabernacle was the first step in restoring God's presence with the Israelites. And what was so significant about the tabernacle is that every room mimics a different aspect of God. You look at the outer courts, and it was a place where the people would make a sacrifice to God because of their sin. See, people could not approach God because God was holy, and they were not. And the sin had to be dealt with. And this was very important, that they had to sacrifice and make a sacrifice for the sin that they had committed. And as you move closer, the rooms got closer to the holier of God. And you see God is more holy. And the last room is called Holy of Holies, which is like the most holy place. It's a place where God rules and his presence is strongest there. And it was a very, very sacred place. See, the tabernacle gives us one clear message about God, and that God is holy. He's set apart, he's glorious, and he's perfect. And God also wants to dwell with his people, which makes Jesus coming on earth so magnificent. And we're going to be talking about Jesus in a few weeks. So not a few weeks, but a few days. So I'm not going to destroy that part. We're going to talk about it in 2 days. But I know that the tabernacle just reconciles us with God. What we need to remember about the verse of the day is this, is that God is holy, he's glorious, he's perfect. The second thing we need to remember is that God wanted to dwell with his people, but he could not do it because of their sin. And God is helping us to move forward, to reconcile with him. And we're going to learn more about this in the coming days. So tomorrow, we're going to look at the image of the temple and why the temple is so important. Well, thanks for joining with me for the verse of the day. I hope to see you tomorrow. God bless and have a great day.